Good afternoon, and thank you all for coming here today. You have cancer. Not really the words anyone ever wants to hear in their lifetime, but they were said to me just 2 years ago. I almost didn't know how to process it, being very unfamiliar with the words. I thought I was immune, as most of us do. Other people get it. Neither my parents or my grandparents or my siblings had it. I was an active, healthy 52-year-old woman who had just been given a clean bill of health from her regular gynecologist just 3 months earlier. How is this possible? Are you sure you're talking to the right person? Before I was diagnosed, I wasn't in any pain. I wasn't bleeding anywhere. I wasn't sick. I was just going about my daily routine. How can I have a life-threatening disease when I don't have any pain, I'm not bleeding or puking? But I had a feeling something wasn't right. I felt tired, often, and I felt bloated, not only after I ate, but pretty much all the time. But I was 52 years old, and I figured, I'm not as young as I used to be, or I'm going through menopause, or maybe I've become lactose intolerant. It's gotta be something minor or uneventful. When they say the symptoms of ovarian cancer whisper, they're not kidding. By the time I sought medical help, I looked like I was 8 months pregnant, which was impossible because I had a partial hysterectomy 2 years earlier. And at that time, I was advised to keep my ovaries because they're so useful. I was also having problems breathing. They did a scan. They drained several liters of fluid out of my abdomen and took a biopsy. Then those words, "You have cancer." The only saving grace in this story was that I was sent to Dr. Mises, who said to me in his sweet teddy bear way, even before the biopsy came back positive, "If this is cancer, we can fix it." I took him at his word. He was so positive through my entire treatment that it didn't even occur to me that I could die. The fight was on. I had major surgery in September 2012, staged at 3C, which is very common, and gave birth to a grapefruit-sized tumor I called Eddie. That was followed by almost a year of chemo, where I lost my hair, my eyelashes, sometimes my dinner, sometimes my dignity, my sense of taste, and the feeling in some of my fingers and toes. I YouTube-tubed how to tie a scarf around a bald head because Pennsylvania winters are brutal with no hair. And the medical terminology I've learned, let me tell you, the term bowel obstruction is every bit as fabulous as it sounds. And please do not Google the term NG tube if you don't know what that is. You'll be sorry. Then come the terms CA-125 and interventional radiologist and chemo port and IV and IP chemo and Neupogen shots and Benadryl that knocks you out and steroids that make you want to eat a small farm and let you not sleep for 2 days. It's enough to make your head spin, which isn't hard to do when you have chemo brain. Amazingly enough, I did come through it, although some of it wasn't pretty. And at the end of the year, just like Dr. Mises said, I heard the words we all want to hear: no evidence of disease. I was cautiously elated and had me a big glass of wine in celebration. But I knew the odds. I know how sneaky this disease is. I was diligent with my follow-ups, and then it happened. Only 8 months from those words we all want to hear comes the news. It's back. Surgery is Monday. Again. So, 2 months ago, I give birth yet again to a little guy the size of a hamster I called Ernie. Not bad for a chick with no girl parts anymore, huh? Now I'm back in the chemo chair, very nice ones at the new cancer center, I might add, for another 6 months. 1 month down, 5 to go, I hope. I'm optimistic, but also realistic. I know women die from this. More than half of those diagnosed each year. And the odds are worse when you're diagnosed late stage like me. But there are plenty of survivors out there too. So I figure, why not me? I'm one of those everything happens for a reason people. Why did I get cancer? I have no clue and probably never will. One thing I do know is that it's changed me for the better, and it's changed me forever. Finding joy in the simple things is now most important to me. My heart is bigger because of the wonderful support system I have in my family and my friends, my coworkers, my doctors and nurses, and the kindness of strangers who don't even know me but see a bald head and smile or say, keep fighting. I'm often told, you're such an inspiration, or you're my hero, or you're so strong, because I usually try to look at the positives rather than the negatives. We all have a choice. Every morning we wake up, we have a choice. I try to use my sense of humor to make a sometimes unbearable situation a bit easier to take because that's how I cope. But I am no different than any of you. None of us have any idea how strong we are until being strong is the only option. Thank you.